Hi, we'd like to welcome everyone out to our webinar roundtable this morning. We are so excited for everyone to join us today. My name is Tiffany McLaughlin, and I am one of Lyra Clinical's education team members. We also have joining us today Miss Ella Cressman, who is also one part of our education team, Metaxia Delikas, CEO, as well as part of our education team, and Francine Kagarakis, also co-founder and part of the education team. We also have two of our wonderful business development partners with us today. We have Miss Katie Freeman, who is out on the West Coast up in the Sacramento area. And then we have Miss Katie Snyder, our two Katies, who is on our East Coast, and she takes care of our Central East Coast out there in the Carolinas and up in Pennsylvania and as well as Chicago. So we're super excited for everybody to join us today. And hopefully, I just wanted to do a couple of things, make sure that everybody can hear me. So maybe if just a couple of you can type in down into that chat box on the right-hand side of your screen and let us know that you can see me and hear us. That would be absolutely amazing. And it looks like we have people from the East Coast as well as the West Coast. And that is awesome. So we are so excited for everyone to join us today. And a couple of things just to make sure that if you do have a question during the roundtable, we will try to address those throughout the presentation. But depending upon the question, we can also type in the answer, and then everyone will be able to see that within the chat. Also, we will be giving away one of our essential kits at the end. We will actually choose from one of our attendees. And so we're super excited that someone will be able to have that extra little goodie in their order the next time that they order their Lyra Clinical. So we're super excited that way as well. So let's get started. A couple of things that we wanted to look at is the fact that we're kind of putting two things together today. We're really excited that we are launching our brand new Pure Peel, but also incorporating that clean beauty. Because when we look at clean beauty, as well as chemical peels, those two, if you think of those two actual topics, you're like, they don't really necessarily go together, but because they're kind of on the two different sides of a plane. But when we look at clean beauty is actually going to be kind of that practice of considering both the environment as well as meeting the skin's needs. So we're taking those actual eco-sustainable ingredients that actually have functional results. So they're going to actually affect the epidermis, they're going to stimulate the dermis. And so with that, having those functional results within our products, especially within our back bar treatments, those things are imperative and essential in today's beauty industry. So that's where Lyra Clinical is really excited for the upcoming reveal of our very first clean beauty results-driven resurfacing solution. So this revolutionary treatment is going to change the way you think about chemical peeling, and we are so excited to be able to share that with you today. And we're going to kind of take you a little bit on a journey, starting with kind of that search that we had and what was going on when we saw that, and what happened when Metaxia said, hey, we need something new.
I have to say welcome to everyone that's on today. We really appreciate that. We work really hard, and it's really nice to be able to come to a meeting like this, which is live, and have everyone on. It just brings us together, which we always want. And I think what you said earlier, Tiffany, is that we're always looking and striving what's new in the industry, what could be being new to the aesthetic market. And I think we've done really, really well. And this is also one more of the aha moments that we can bring to the industry and offer something different, new. I think we're really proud of what we have, but we're always searching. Our search goes on internationally, domestically, through many different labs and chemists. And it took a long time to come up with a different peeling agent that would complement already what we have. we do have the full spectrum of peels, and we pride ourselves on being smart peels because of all the technology that we have and what we've learned from the past to bring these smart peels to the market, which are fantastic. And we've gone to many shows, we've talked to many estheticians and asked, do you have or heard of a new peeling agent in the market? And we've actually challenged people and said that if you would have something new, we would definitely want it to present it to us with some type of compensation. That's how bad it was. We just really wanted to hear from the whole world of if there's something new in the market. And I have to say, we are one of the first, if the first. Again, I'm cautious because I don't know. I mean, we keep a pulse on the international market, but you never know. But I do pride ourselves as being one of the first companies that offer this new peeling agent in the market, which is phenomenal. So
Okay, it took a little while. You're right about that. Metaxia is right. The last time we came up with a new peel was in 2013 when the Vitabright was out there, and it was where we put the fabulous Mastiha with vitamin C, and that's actually our #1 peel. And the fact that Mastiha is in the vitamin C has been very, very successful for us. But looking for a new solution was key. And we are very, very excited because this solution was unique, but it also had a few issues that we had to really get through. So it took a few years to perfect it and make it a Lyra Smart Peel.
Well, you look at the peeling spectrum, I mean, the peeling agents, and you look at them and you're trying to see what will be different. How will this skin respond to a different peeling agent? And it's not just the agent, it's delivery. Is it a gel? Is it a paste? Is it a free acid? What would the skin, how would the skin absorb it? So there's so many different factors. And in the journey, we're talking about, I would say, a lot of prototypes, a lot of different chemists.
20 prototypes.
Is the skin responding to it? How quickly? The scent, which we said that was another consideration. But we have played in this market for, I think, of the last 4 years, really seriously playing with different concepts. I can tell you we went on a tangent with retinol, trying to come up with a retinol that would be unique in the market, but we have the best retinol, in my opinion. The mineral retinol is fantastic. And chemists were just...
As we looked for the new retinols, we found our Pro Retinol Plus, our hydroxyzone retinol. So we actually included that in the protocol because of the phenomenal results that adds to this peel.
Well, she said something important. When you go in a peeling agent, what you're doing is delivering something that the skin gives you a response. So by using a retinol as a peeling agent, okay, we have it, but what would be different? So the search really was intense in our opinion. I mean, we spent a lot of time. Our reps worked really hard with us. We had a couple meetings where we would play back and forth because our reps are also part of this journey, representatives. And I mean, our family members, I think we've tried it on our mom, on each other, on everyone on this panel here. We've listened to a numerous reps and estheticians. I have to tell you, it was a journey. I just want to be able to say the journey was intense, but we're so darn proud of this peeling agent. It's like no other in the market. I pride ourselves as far as being innovated in the market. I think Lyra represents the latest technology and how we extend it to you guys so that you are at the best in your game. I think that's important for us to deliver the educational support, anything that you do with the Lyra products.
One thing I have to remind everybody, I'm sorry, Ella, go ahead. I was just going to talk about, go ahead. I'll add it after that. Go ahead.
I was going to just share, it's no secret that I love Lyra Clinical Peels because of versatility. So as a practitioner, I feel like I've been on this journey as far as with the peels from the very beginning. And this is the reason I started using Lyra Clinical early on. And so that has been fun on my professional journey. And I've been lucky enough to be a part of the Pure Peel journey as well. So if it's okay, I'm going to share a story that goes back a couple years, if that's all right. During this prototype process, you have to understand there's so much research and development that goes ahead of that. And so one of the things that Metaxia is known for is bring me something new. And this isn't really new. This is just putting old things together in a different way. So finally, we've got something new. It's got these different components to it. And then what happens is, let's try it. And so it was March 5th, 2020, I think. March 5th, March 7th, somewhere between, right before March 10th, 2020. We know what happened after that. But I had gone out to the corporate office in Dublin, and we were trying this new solution, and it was hot. Like it was unique. So it was an earlier prototype, or probably middle of the road, but my face was warm. And we did this right before I had to get on a plane. And so it was right before, like, people were like, is COVID bad? Is COVID not bad? Do you have a fever? You shouldn't fly if you have a fever. So they had some airports were having like thermo testing and such. I was so nervous to get on the plane in case my face was warm and projecting that I may have had a fever. But I tell you, once I got home, my skin looked phenomenal. So that was part of it. So I'm also happy to have been able to see the progression thereafter. So I love this solution, especially as a practitioner. I'm in love. I'm in love with the results.
One of the things that Ella, you're right about that. The first time we started using the first prototype, and not one of the first, I think it was the fifth one, see if I remember correctly. We took it to one of our sales reps meetings, and Metaxia was doing it on one of them. And the first thing that happened, the heat. We had the heat, of course, come up, and the skin, was reacting beautifully and everything. It was the fumes. I won't call it the scent, really. It's more or less the fumes that were a little more difficult to tolerate. And they're like, oh my gosh, I've never had this experience before. So this was very unique because we're looking, so we have to really go back and fix this little situation here. But it was one of I think it was prototype number 5.
Well, you're right. There was prototype. We were going to the market with a medical version and an esthetician version.
Yeah.
We had 25, 30% of this acid, and we had 10 to 15% for the esthetician market. And we found that, again, we were playing. We wanted to have 2 opportunities, and then we realized, wait a minute. The aha moment is when we found the right percentage, which is 20%. We found the right percentage that it makes no sense to have the medical and the esthetician. They all do beautifully well. And it was really, like you said, the scent. We had to put a terpene type of ingredient to help with that sensory experience that you talk about. And Nella, she works really, really well with terpenes. And I think explain the terpenes, how it kind of helped the scent of the Pure Peel.
Well, I have to say, first of all, that scent, the fumes that Francine's talking about, is your eyes were watering, but you're like, that looks so pretty. Your skin looks so good. But adding in the terpenes, I think, was key, because monoterpenes, as we know, affects the olfactory system, so that's functional scent. But what we have in here are diterpenes, triterpenes, and sesquiterpenes. And the way that those communicate in the skin is they help the skin repair itself. And so when we're looking at this peel and traditional peeling methods, we'll say that are great too. There's nothing wrong with previous methods. But when you're comparing this peel to other peels, you're able to have the regeneration and the repair without the resurfacing, the exfoliation, sloughing that you would need. So it's just amazing the way that it works within the skin. I love it.
Ella, I'd love you to explain one other thing, because when we had to go back to the drawing board to manipulate this so it's tolerable for everyone, there's a special ingredient that we added, and it's mastiha. And yes, I'd love you to talk about how not only did this peel have wonderful terpenes, but we had to go back in and bring mastiha oil into this particular peel to make sure to help with the fumes, but all the benefits of mastiha terpenes.
I think mastiha should be must-tiha, because you must have it in a lot of different ways, and the way that it loves the skin. So mastiha is amazing for so many different reasons, particularly the addition in this solution was to help with that skin repair. So that's mestiza that has not only the monoterpenes and that it's alpha pinene, linalool, alpha and beta pinene, excuse me, caryophyllene, and then linalool in there that adjusts that, for lack of a better term, the vinegar smell. But it also has the diterpenes, the triterpenes, and the sesquiterpenes. So that's where you're getting the repair. That's where you're getting the refinement. And I think I performed this on someone on Monday, and I said to him, I go, just touch your skin, just touch it. And it's this unique velvety smoothness. He's like, I don't want to touch it. No, just touch it. Trust me. And he touched it. He was like, oh, this is amazing. And that's from the mestiza in there too. That's that velvety soft. So it was very well thought out. And it's like no stone was left unturned with the creation of this solution. So it's I can't wait for you guys to try it. You're gonna love it.
I think we talk about the scent. It has a vinegary pickle type of scent, and which is important to understand. Once you explain or have them smell it before you apply it, and there's ways that we present it. It's the education before you do it. But I could tell you, playing with different percentages, we learned a lot from it too, because you want to be able to bring this solution to the skin and have that immediate result. So what we learned, and the scent, thank you, Tiff. What we learned is that the scent, we figured out a way how to overcome that and explain it and alter it with the mestiza. And that's really important. We also learned that the skin needed to have a response, and that's when we get the erythema. So we're working from the bottom up, a little bit different. So you will have, once you apply it, you will have a marker, which is the erythema marker, to see where you actually applied it, which is really unique because as estheticians, we want to be sure that the skin responds to what we do. And erythema is a response, and we get the attention and we get the response because the response means some correction. So this is really important to understand that erythema gives you guidelines of where it's going, and you can control it and how many layers you put on. But what the erythema is doing when you're getting that erythema, it is working to refine that skin. And refining that skin is so important because that instant result is what sells this peel. You want to be able to get something that when they get up, like you said, Ella, they touch their skin and they feel, oh my God. It is even similar to the experience of dermaplaning. That's how smooth a texture feels, and which is really unique because no other peel does that. So you want to be able to always challenge the skin and offer the skin different types of solutions that will give that work back that we do when we do peels, kind of working the skin back into the right functions and bringing the skin to a healthy state. And the key thing to all of this is that you're not going to have downtime. So in the market, we did listen to everyone saying that people don't want to have downtime and lose time from work or regular activities. So you have this instant result without waiting to have a 2-3 day response to what you've done in treatment. So it's just, you, like she says here, you feel it because you do have a sensory of 1 to 10. Some people get a 5, 6, 7. Obviously, it's going to go back to a 0 or a 1, but you feel the client feels it, you see it, and then all of a sudden you touch it and you really live it. And I think that's what's really unique about this, different than any other peel solution in the market that we have seen.
So
then,
we took the solution, obviously, and as Metaxi indicated, everyone had the experience to be able to try it and see how they like it. And that's where we invited both of our Katies on to kind of explain to you a little bit about both of their experiences. I will say in regards to smelling it, the smell doesn't bother me that much. And I know for Katie, it doesn't really either. It doesn't bother me at all. So I think that's also kind of one of those personal things, especially now that you do have that mestiza in there to kind of just take the edge off to on a personal level. It doesn't bother me. But Katie Snyder, how was your experience with the pure peel?
So I had a great experience with it. Like you said, the smell did not bother me at all. I did know what I was getting into because I did take a little, you take a little whiff before it's talked up so much. So I did smell it before I applied it, but I didn't have a fan. I just held my breath. But it was tolerable. kind of that feeling. I felt the warmth. I felt the sensation that you want to feel with a resurfacing agent. I felt like it was working. And then I saw it. I saw the erythema, but I saw and you guys nailed it, the refinement right away. I saw just the texture kind of change. It was kind of like my skin was morphing in front of my eyes, and it was really exciting to watch. And then, like Ella said, telling her client to touch it, just touch your face. And I couldn't stop touching my face. And like I said, I was like, is this really happening? Like, this is really happening. And yeah, so, and then, a couple days I had just some light sloughing, maybe some rolling. But I was back to normal, back to my regular home care within 3 days. It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I multiple people watched when my face went a little red with that, but I'm one of those that goes red, tomato red, really, really easy. But absolutely, yeah, not an uncomfortable situation at all. But I think that instant gratification that you can actually feel the difference in your skin is what your clients are like, oh my gosh, I love this. When can I have this again? So,
Yeah.
Katie Friedman, how was if you wanted to kind of just share your experience when you did the Pure Peel, and how many layers and how you kind of prepared your skin? What were some of the products that you used in the Layer Clinical Skincare System to kind of prepare your skin for the Pure Peel?
For myself, I mean, I absolutely use the ice refining mask to prep my skin before using the Pure Peel. I mean, that's, absolute go-to with that. I did want to mention, I think we talked about before the idea of opening up the peel and airing it out like a fine wine. I love that concept. And also now I look forward to the smell. Like because I've seen such amazing results with the solution, like that smell triggers also my thought process of like seeing those amazing results. And so I think clients will really, that whole like smell experience will actually just be a really positive experience for them, and just something fun that you guys can connect with together. That's kind of how I've been feeling it. I had to run under my whole house fan when I did just because that was my local fan. And I will say, applying it to yourself is a lot different than that kind of
Absolutely.
horizontal and vertical. I definitely noticed that upturn, which that's why, I ran to my fan. But otherwise, I do love pickles. And so that smell, again, doesn't bother me whatsoever. And then those instant results, I mean, same solution as other Katie, and same experience too. That short kind of almost just a rolling sensation, maybe a couple days post. I'm in some light sloughing, and then when I like right after, I mean, you see that erythema, you see that response in the skin, but it just shows you that it's working, which is just exciting. I absolutely love the solution.
I have a feeling that this will be nicknamed or deemed, and maybe Ella can attest to this because she has been beta testing it for a while, but this will be I want that pickle peel. Will you do that pickle peel again on me?
I've had that happen since early beta testing clients, and they beg for it, and I've said Pure Peel. I am quick to correct them to Pure Peel. But yeah, they are literally begging for it. When are you getting some more? It's like, when are you getting some more? Can I get some of that? And I'm like, can I get some more of that? Because it's amazing. I love it.
Now,
I think the
question
key,
for you. We did have somebody reach out. Have you ever actually had a client hold a mirror so they can visually see that skin changing when you did that treatment? Which is a great question, Danielle.
This is funny. So yes, because I'm like a little kid. I'm like, oh my God, get this, look at this, watch it. Look, it's changing right now. Look at it. And I do the same thing when we talked even to the sales rep that we had a video. I said, look, you can see it changing. And every time I watch that video, I'm like, look, you can see it. So cool. So I do, especially I do. It's exciting. I do.
I think what's important is that the visual is part of the experience. And when you apply it, there's a sensory that they feel that there's something going on. So you ask from 1 to 10. So there is a sensory type of a feeling. So that's important because when you're doing a peel, people want to feel something. Visually, you see the erythema coming up and it's delayed within about the first 60 seconds. So you'll notice it won't, but then give that 60 seconds and you'll notice that the erythema will come up. Depending on how the skin condition is, will depending on how much erythema you got. For example, I did our mom, Francine, our mom, and she didn't get as much erythema because she hasn't been primed as much as I have. When I did it and I showed you the pictures, I turned into a red tomato because I have been priming. I've been using our retinols. My skin is more like it in condition, so it really responded very nicely. Well, what's really important to understand is that an erythema will tell us how much more prep we need to do at home, how we could set the stage, because one peel doesn't do it all. You need the system of peels to be able to work up to that. So if somebody was in your clinic and has gotten through a lot of different peels, this experience will be definitely unique. The erythema will come a little bit more. That means your skin is really conditioned. It's like a good workout. And I think that'll be good. If they don't have enough erythema as visually you could see, maybe you need to work up more peels to that point too. The skin needs to be challenged. And I think what's really good is like exercising. You can't do the same thing over and over again. You need to rotate some of your exercising, things that you're doing on different parts of the body. So I think once you exercise with different peels and work up to this pure peel or as an alternative to what you're doing, it's really going to help you as the erythema, you visually see it. So the mirror, when the erythema is there, is a really good point for them to see what you're seeing too, because they have to be part of this experience so that they want more. What Ella is showing us is that people with acne have a good benefit with this peel. All of a sudden the
Right
refinement,
there.
when you have pigment, all of a sudden you have a brightening effect from this peel, so your skin is brighter actually. If there's a wrinkle, it actually plumps up that area. So it works for all different conditions, which is really cool. But it gives you that opportunity to give this one more experience to the skin that you could offer. And I think that's really cool because we want to keep the skin challenged. We want to have the skin healthy. These peels are not there to take the skin off and keep the skin needing more hydration. Our peel system is there to keep our skin, our epidermis healthy with all the functions working properly. And I think this fits perfectly with our system.
One thing you said, yeah, was true with mom and myself actually. Sometimes we turn red, sometimes we don't turn as red, or the erythema doesn't come up as much, but the refinement is still there and the brightness is still there. And so it's something that you have to look for. Depending on the erythema, some people will get more, some people will get less, but the refinement will still be there. That's what you're going to notice on this. And that brightening effect is right there. So that's the excitement of this peel.
So combining this peel where we've kind of discussed the fact that there are very unique ingredients as well as the protocol itself is being offered in two different ways that you have the ability to purchase it. But we have created a certification class that enables you and introduces you to that step-by-step process to allow you to know how the skin needs to be prepared and conditioned to be treatment ready for a pure peel, as well as knowing, yes, this client is ready for this experience. How have you maybe talked about that with some of your top accounts, Katie Snyder?
Yeah, so I think I heard Metaxia say this before, but you can't be a chef before you're a cook, right? And I think kind of working with that Lyra clinical system is really, really important. So knowing your basics, knowing your product knowledge, knowing what the formulations are, and then taking it step by step into a smart peels class, taking it into, and then finally taking it into the certification. But using some of the, making sure that you're using the products, you're recommending home care, your clients are already prepping, will ensure that you're getting the results and that you're seeing the results that this pure peel can offer. We've all had great results, but we've also been very, very prepped on Lyra Clinical for a number of years. So, our skin was ready to accept this solution. And I think, using that guideline that we put out there of the system and putting it together a system is going to ensure that you and your clients are seeing and achieving those results, and that certification, those requirements should and must be met, because it definitely is going to make you successful with this treatment.
With Katie Friedman, how I know we have had one of our certification courses was initially offered on Monday, and we had a full class. Ella and I were so excited to be able to see some of those accounts on there. How are your accounts responding to that, Katie Friedman?
I'm super excited. I mean, Lyra Clinical is definitely that system. So having those discussions with new accounts about building up that home care and those home treatments for their clients to kind of prep themselves to get ready to offer them the Pure Peel has kind of been those current discussions. And then with the education, I mean, it's super stepstone. I would say I just had a Smart Peels class on Monday. I couldn't imagine all the information that I would want to share about the Pure Peel to put that right now on top of that. And also, I mean, it's definitely a necessary step, like I said, with the stepping stone education, but I think that having a separate certification is just so amazing. Just taking that separate time, it is a very unique peel solution, and it needs that special attention. And I just, again, after doing that Smart Peels class, we had such an amazing time. But and then afterwards, I had everybody wanting to do the Pure Peel certification afterwards. But doing it right then, that's just the perfect timing. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for them to take it as well.
I think it's important to understand our concept. Our concept is, this is not a charge. Basically what you're doing, we're charging a price for you to get the peel, because we believe in Lyra, you have to do it on yourself first before you could do it and apply it to someone else. So that $49 is basically this hour, a little bit over an hour, going over the features of this, because by you having all the proper education before, it's just going to add quickly to the knowledge, to the experience, to the stuff that you need to know to put it into your clinic. So really, it's just kind of reassuring that you've done the PK, you understand our theory and our philosophy of a system, understanding that we do have peels, and we have to understand the whole peel spectrum of peels, because you just don't do one peel. You have to really master, like Katie said, is that to be a chef, you really have to know the ingredients that you put together. I mean, you follow a recipe in the beginning, but then you create something more as you feel it. So by feeling our system first, this is just an added to it that you could actually explode in services that you've already experienced the system. You've already experienced our appeals, and now we're adding one more thing. And I think the chef part of it, we believe that after you've done this training, you are chefs, and we want to keep you engaged in learning more and having more opportunities to keep growing in this industry. So I think, and then also once you get certified, you're in the system certified, we have a 5-pack, because all of a sudden you want to be able to have this in your back bar and use it. And so it's in an individual dose. So it's just really getting for you to understand the power that you have with this Pure Peel, with the certification. It's more having you be the first to feel it, be experienced enough to say to your clients and patients, yeah, I did it. This is my experience. This is what I felt. I got certified. I understand all the components of this. You are proud now to say that you are part of a more advanced peel class or advanced peel technique, because a lot of it's technique and being an expert in different techniques. So we're really happy about the certification, because it really puts you in a different playing field.
And it also, you do take product home to continue the treatment at home. So when you're taking the Pro Retinol Plus, the philosophy of sealing with the mineral retinol is part of this philosophy, where you take home the Pro Retinol Plus to actually add in, again, the wonderful hydroxyzones with adenosine, resveratrol, and of course retinaldehyde. It continues for the next 48 hours. And you continue the treatment at that point. So you extend it, so there's more refinement.
So in that kit, in that one dose kit we have, Fran, why don't you tell them the products we have? Because it is a kit, like you said, and I think it's important that they know
Okay.
kit.
what we're looking for is you're going to take home, of course, our new Pro Retinol Plus, as I said, and you're going to apply it morning and night. We also have for hydration the pure hyaluronic acid. And of course, we have in there our SPF, because protection is very, very important. You have to protect the skin at the same time. So again, we want to continue this treatment for the next 48 hours so that refinement continues, because it continues that night, the next morning, and the next day. So this is why it's very important to have the kit. And if you do get the 5-pack, it's important to get the trial sizes so you're able to send your clients home with those particular products.
The one thing is the refining mask. What we realized is that the prep before the application, the refining mask, we felt because it's a water soluble type of solution, we wanted to take off all the oils and detox the skin. So you'll notice in the kit there is a refining mask that we definitely feel is a perfect prep before this pure peel solution. We tried with our Primer Plus, we tried with different peeling prepping solutions, but this combination was really good to be able to give you a clean canvas, a dry canvas to deliver the pure peel. So you do have that in that. And what's really cool too is you can take that home, and then probably on your 5th or 6th day, if you just want to, again, just to kind of keep a treatment going, you can use that and add the pure hyaluronic acid, which is really a good product too. So the home
For the sloughing,
experience,
for the sloughing that the girls were talking about, or the ladies, excuse me, the ladies were talking about, you can use the refining mask for that also.
right. And I think when we talk about sloughing, we're talking about very little, if any. I mean, around the mouth, like both of the Katie's mentioned, it's very, but it's clear. It doesn't bring the pigment up to make it darker. So some peels make the pigment come a little bit darker before it's released. It doesn't have that effect. But again, you continue that home care is valuable to the in-service treatments. Home care will support whatever you do and keep it going. The whole idea when you're doing correction is maintain the correction longer through the healing process, because the longer you keep it at that healthy state or that corrective state, the better it's going to be as far as long-term correction.
I think one thing to keep in mind is, why do I have to take the certification course? Why can't I just order this peel? And here we have the introduction of a brand new resurfacing agent, brand new. And so it's important to familiarize yourself with what is this agent, how does it mix with these other tried and true agents, what is the solution, what is the protocol. As we've talked about today, we have gone through many protocols, and what Francine and Metaxia are touching on here is we've created a kit for that, and we also have the opportunity to have a 5-pack for home care use. But what's important, the one thing we want you to have a similar experience to what we had, and that is familiarizing yourself with the pure peel. So walk before you run, and understand that this comes with a protocol. We want you to follow the protocol. The protocol is explained in the certification. The acids are explained in the certification. The blend is explained in the certification, and that's the reason for it. And it's could be compared to just really understanding at a baseline before you start to jog maybe, and then start running. So there are capabilities for that, but we want you to really get it familiar with it first. And so it's so exciting. You're going to love it. We've made it super easy to follow a protocol, and you'll learn all about it in the certification course.
Couple of questions that some of you have asked, and kind of what excuse me, to reiterate what Ella indicated, is many of these questions obviously are gone into detail with those answers throughout the certification course. But when beta testing the Pure Peel, it was performed on all different skin types, aging clients, targeting fine lines and wrinkles, melasma, pigmentation, as well as acne. And that's where we have found these phenomenal results in all of the skin types that they were tested on. Clients do need to be prepped for this peel. This is not a first timer peel. This is not a second timer peel. This is something that you know the skin, you're comfortable with the skin before you actually perform it. The nice thing is there's no specific contraindications other than your standard and customary chemical peel contraindications or an allergy to a specific ingredient. So When looking towards this, Ella, when you're booking a client to perform the pure peel, are you adding additional time to that appointment for that service, or are you booking a regular facial time?
I'm booking 1 hour, and so that's my standard chemical peel time. The actual treatment itself is around 40 minutes, 45 minutes. But as we've talked about, the Katie Friedman, Katie Snyder, we've all kind of mentioned like setting the expectation is key. So I walk them through it. And then as Katie Friedman mentioned, I open the pure peel, I pour it in a medicine cup, and I let them smell it. So they're becoming familiar with it. And so there is pauses. I want to pause. I want to look. I want to take my time. It's not to be rushed through. So to answer your question, I allow for an hour for, I'm really honestly, the actual treatment's about 30, 35 minutes, but allowing for hours to set the expectation and then to concisely explain the post care. So that's my process, and it seems to work really, really well. And again, they're begging for it. Can I get some more of that pure pill? So it's pretty exciting.
Are there any other questions that anyone has for our panel while we have everyone here? If you would like to register specifically for any of our Pure Peel certification courses, the easiest way to do that is to hop onto lyraclinical.com and click on those live webinars, online certification. That will take you directly to all of the dates that we are offering for that certification course. And then as Metaxia indicated, once you have completed that course, you will be shipped a single dose of the actual pure peel. So it will automatically come to you. Your certification will be noted in the system, as well as you being able to download your certificate that day, which is really nice. So you have the ability to start working with the product as soon as you receive that single dose and have the ability to begin offering it to your clients.
I have to put a shout out for their representatives. I have to say thank you, Katie, both Katies, for being on. They have worked with us, and I think we're an educational team, but they're part of our growth, and we work with them all the time. And every one of these reps that we have with Lyra are very capable of answering any questions. They work really hard to give the knowledge that we are putting together. So both Katies have done a fantastic job in helping us, and every one of our reps. I have to say we're very fortunate. Lyra's about learning and being the best in your game, and education is something that no one can take away from you. It's yours, and once you really master something, it makes it easy. So I think sometimes some things could be simple, but it's really because you've mastered your trade, and that's really cool. The fact that you feel the skin, you listen to the skin, you communicate with the skin is what our trade is all about. And I think education is going to keep you going. And I have to thank every one of our team members in Lyra, because we're striving every day to bring you something new into the market. So again, thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay.
So just to review by way of prerequisites, there are a few prerequisites. I'm going to kind of back up just a hot minute here just to kind of review those for those of you that are looking for that certification process. There are 2 classes that you should be have completed with your representative or online. So you need to have completed the Lyra Clinical Skincare System or the Fundamentals course that is offered online. That course, the skincare system class, can be done online with your business representative or in person, whichever you have chosen and works best for your schedule. And then as well as our Smart Peels class. So those 2 classes do need to be taken and completed before you have the ability to actually take that Pure Peel class, because kind of like we've discussed, it's definitely that building upon that foundation, and you need to have that Lyra clinical system in place with your skincare practice before kind of graduating to this little bit of a higher echelon in the resurfacing and chemical peeling treatment offerings. And so that's where just kind of reviewing those things, and maybe if there's a hiccup and you haven't had one of those, all of our business representatives are more than happy to accommodate and schedule those classes digitally very easily. So, reaching out to them and, hey, I need this pure peel, but I haven't taken this class. When's your next one that you're offering? Is an amazing way that, you can reconnect. And we all know it's peel season right now. So everyone's going to be wanting to look their best for the holidays and everything else. And so this is a great time to be able to do that as well. We're super excited. Our last roundtable of the year is going to be October the 26th. So we're kind of talking about tricks of home treatments. Get that? Tricks, treatment.
Got it.
Everyone has that little play on words
Every
there.
time of year.
I'm a little bit of a
Okay.
Halloween fan
Do
here.
we
and
get
I
a
know
Reese's? That's all I want to know.
too. So we are really excited that we'll be talking about those home treatments that definitely you can incorporate, and they work fabulously with those pure peel treatments as well. As part of the education team, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Katie Freeman. Thank you, Katie Snyder. And always my wonderful, amazing colleagues, Metaxia Delikas, Ella, and Francine.
We're going to have a drawing. What number from 1 to what?
Oh, yes.
Yes, hang on one second. Let me pull that up. And let's see here. Okay, Katie Snyder, you want to give me a number between 1 and 60?
22.
22.
22.
Okay, let me hear.
My age. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, Miss Kay Lyons.
Okay,
You are our
Lions.
winner.
Get a girl.
Writing it down. And we will have them reach out to you in regards to your essential kit that you have won. So, woohoo!
Congratulations.
Katie. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us today. Hang on one second. I got a couple. May have missed it. Do we require Pro Retinol Plus to the client at least 2 weeks prior to the pure peel? So that's dependent upon what home care program that you have on that client. And once again, all those specifics of what is required to condition the skin prior to performing the pure peel will all be covered in detail in that certification course. And absolutely, Carolyn, as soon as you are certified and you have taken that course online, within an hour, you will receive that certification, and all of that will process through our system, and you will be able to purchase that actual pure peel system, whether you want to purchase the multi-pack or you want to purchase that single dose. You have the ability to do that, almost immediately, which is nice. So, and if I'm not mistaken, if that's something where you want to add additional solutions onto that initial order that's going to come with that single dose, you have the ability to add that. I think, yes, hopefully.
And also, we should mention when the pure peel is going to be released.
Oh, thank you, Miss Ella. I had a blonde moment.
Go ahead, drum roll, everyone.
Number 6.
That would be October 6th. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, I'm a little flush right now because I'm feeling a little embarrassed that I didn't even say that. Okay. So absolutely. So October 6th, definitely.
I have a surprise for you, Tiffany. The people that have taken the certification on Monday and today are getting it mailed out in the next couple days because they were registered before, got certified. So actually, it's launched on the 6th, but these are the ones that we have pre-launched, I guess, with the certification. So if you've taken the class on Monday and you've listened to this, you probably in the next few days will get it before the 6th. But the actual launch, the big day is on October 6th.
Which is first day Thursday.
We have a certification class this afternoon, and then we have one Monday. So I believe this afternoon is full, but Monday. So if you have a chance, you sign up for Monday, you'll be able to be in that special pre-launch party, I guess, with everybody else. You'll be in that exclusive group that gets it. So see if their class is not full on Monday, sign up.
Yes, I don't believe the one on Monday is full yet. There was only a handful of spots for this afternoon's class. So if you're trying to get that in, and as a side note, this is a live course. So it's not recorded, and when you register, you will need to attend that live presentation in order to receive your certification. So
And
you kind of
Tiffany,
need
real
to make
quick,
sure that your schedule is empty.
right, and very quickly, I'd love to say that Tiffany and Ella do a fine job on the certification course. So you're going to get great information, and they will guide you to be certified in the Pure Peel.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So thank you everybody once again for joining us. Thank you to all of my
Thanks.
colleagues. I hope everyone has an amazing rest of their week, and go Lear Clinical team. I'm so excited for everybody.
Be bright and be beautiful.
And thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.